Hello and welcome to Geekatplay Studio Tutorials. In this tutorial, we'll work on a little bit more terrain and see how we can create very nice close-up looks. I'm going to use the Vue 10.5 Extreme. This will also work on complete and sprint versions as long as you have an ecosystem population. So what I'm going to do is create standard terrain for this. And I'm going to shrink this way down. Okay. So if you're using infinity versions or extreme version, you will have it this great, so you can see size of your terrain. If you don't have it, the other ways what I like to do is just create reference objects. So as example, right now, let's place a tree. I'm just taking just any tree. Let's select summer cherry tree. That's everyone have it. So when we place this tree, you can kind of see what is size we have. Again, if you don't have it scale grid, you can have it. This way also, if I'm right, there was some scale grid object at cornucopia, so you can check this as well. And right here is about right size what I wanted. So at this point, I can delete this tree. Next, I want to reset my terrain. So I'm going to set it, click maybe create small hills, we'll go effect, I'm going to click and hold on diffuse button. So this will make way smooth. So as long as you're holding, let's continue doing this transformation. The nice things about doing this, if you undo, it will undo to your previous state, not each state you created. This maybe look okay. If you want it, you can increase, decrease, but you can create any other effect as well, maybe even a little bit of dissolve around. Yeah, just okay, let's click OK. And next I want to do is actually bring it slightly down. So if we look above, you can see we have our terrain with some small effect. Okay, we'll go right here. Okay, so let's go ahead and next I'll show you a couple things we can do. I want to create ecosystem. Normally I will create layer, but because I want to show you some effect what's happening, this may help you. And we're going to add rocks. So let's go to select rough rock. Okay, right here. Okay, and next we can add some plants, but usually I don't like add rocks and plants on same layer in case I want to control them. So I'm going to create another ecosystem layer for this. Okay, and I'm going to add grass here. So let's go to our grass plants folder. Okay, and we'll just select long grass for this. Click OK. Now if I'm going to populate, so we have a long grass, a lot of places. Let's pop up our density. Okay, and we'll go to the rocks. We'll go populate rocks. Okay, one thing you will notice, and this question come up, that like right here, the grass is growing through our rocks. So let's go render. So we'll go render on the screen so we can preview easier. Okay, and actually you can see it's kind of grass going through the rocks, but rocks is too much one on each other, so we can control. First, let's go ahead and adjust our rocks and adjust our grass. So first, what I want to do, this is our rocks, if I'm right. Let me rename it. So it's our rocks. This is grass. I want actually grass be above the rocks. So rocks will be my first layer. And I'm going to reduce scaling on them. Take a little bit down population. Okay, next, they're kind of touching ground right here, so they're not, doesn't look very real for those rocks to be there. Okay, right here they're just touching, so I want to actually submerge them deeper down. For this one, will going inside actually offset from the surface. And right here, because we have its size, and you remember what it is, it's probably 0.10 meters or 10 centimeters. So let's populate and see actually minus. So we go on minus there. And you can see we're already kind of submerging them. Maybe let's try 13 centimeters, a little bit more. Okay, preview. So yeah, this is look a little bit better. So our rocks a little bit more sitting in the ground at this time. We can actually maybe even put them more down, 15. Okay. And next, what I want to do, it is actually take a grass, and if we populate, and I think this is maybe a very good example. So we have right here, you can see the grass just going through the rocks. So let's rework on the grass. Think what we want to use, this area where it says distribution. And we want to set this affinity with a layer. So let's select grass, and one will be attract to the layer. So if we go like this and we populate, you'll notice grass will go around, and other ones also repulsion. So we can go pushed a little bit away. On this case, grass won't grow closer. So like right here, see it's too much. Go a bit closer, populate, and the grass kind of try to stay away. A bit more away from this. So let's see if we want to have it closer, but at the same time repulsion. So we can have a very interesting effect with this. Let's say affinity to 0, and we'll say probably about 70%. So it will be growing, but try to kind of stay away from the rocks at this point. Okay, next let's go to the density, pop density, and actually I want to scale down. Reduce it. Okay, even less. So we'll see. Let's start right here. You can see it's kind of try to avoid our rocks, which has worked very well for us. Okay, maybe a little bit more. Okay, so right here we have a nice population going on this grass. Let's preview. So we have a nice grass, rocks, and the grass staying kind of away from the rocks. Next, what is to make it work even better, we need to have a nice underlay material. And I found out very few materials actually work very well. The one is I created a long time ago, and actually using in a lot of places. And if you can find something similar, it's based on a grass field. Okay, so let's load at this one. And a couple of things I want to actually modify. I want to decrease bump map for this. We'll also go to, let's edit function. I want to be sure interpolation is set properly. Okay, maybe actually a cubic on this one. Let's evolve on this effect. Object parametric 0.2. So let me preview how to look. So you can see this kind of nicely start blending in. We do need a little bit color corrected on the. Let's bring it closer. Okay. Highlights, we can just bring slightly highlights up. Okay, next let's go inside the material, and right here we have our grass material. Okay, what I want to do, actually I want to modify a little bit with a color blend, and actually I want to go a little bit yellowish, kind of matching maybe. Color mask and just slightly adding, and you can see we're already kind of adding yellow color to this. click OK. It's taking a little bit time to apply it. Okay, and also, you know what, maybe this material, let's pop up a little bit. I'm watching that. So let's go preview. So our grass kind of start matching. Okay, I want to add maybe more to this surface, so we have a grass which not kind of does not work, stay away from our rocks. The one I want to put it other layers, maybe it's going around, maybe around the rocks. So let's do this way. We'll go create a new layer, ecosystem. Let's put this above the rocks. And right now, if I modify grass, if I repopulate it, it will going under this next field. So this will be small grass. And I'm actually going to use small grass field for this. Okay, let's click OK. We'll click OK. Let's click populate. So we want pop-up density. You can see it just start filling up. Let's take scaling a bit down, and right here I want actually affinity bring closer to the rocks. So right around the rocks, it's where kind of start building. Scaling a bit down. Affinity not that strong. It's kind of nicely going over. Click OK. Let's take our main camera. Position. Just so we can preview. Okay, next I want to modify light so we can see better a little bit on the color. I do a little bit just saturated darker. I think sun position almost okay. Maybe just a little bit more around. So I'm looking at the shadows. Maybe shadows a little bit up front, so we have a little bit more interesting depth. And let's bring sun a little bit more down. Okay. Also softness, because we close up, I kind of sharp shadows doesn't do that as well. And let's going here increase slightly on glow intensity, so it makes softer shadows looking. Okay, I think let's preview at this point. You can see we have very interesting effect with this closer around rock, small other grass. Maybe want to add a little bit more kind of single rocks around. Okay, and just slightly less on glowing. Okay, so we have right here. Let's open our terrain. Okay, these are rocks. Let's create one more ecosystem. I'll put this above the rocks, and let's call long grass. Okay, we'll go add it, and we have it. This grass which is covered small field grass, so we need to kind of add maybe something interesting to this. And one I like to use Deluge high grass, so I'm just going to select some of this which is kind of long a little bit, but we'll go to reduce size. And the reason why I put it around rocks again, because I want don't them grow over my rocks. So I will just repulsion. Okay, we populate, you can see they will be kind of very large. So let's go pop up density higher. Okay, they're around here. We'll take scaling down. So yeah, we have it quite a bit now. lower scaling. Okay, and take density down now. So they're going not around rocks, but just replace, I think. One more time preview. Okay, let's right here so we can see we have it nice. Some long grasses. Okay, and other grass. I think we're ready for our renders. So let's take sun and just see if I can just move a little bit lighting closer here. Okay, very slowing lower light. It will give it us shadows a little bit more in 3D, kind of bring more dimension towards this. Okay, atmosphere, let's add clouds, even the one render, but they will drop shadows a little bit, so they will have kind of more softer light distribution in this case. Okay, shadows on this. Okay, right here you can see some light and shadows, so we have a nice kind of light start spreading from them. Okay, let's pop up ambient light just a bit higher. Okay, compensating for this in the light. Okay, next sky. Haze, we have it right here. Just bring ambient light a little bit more spread by increasing. Okay, I think we all set. Okay, so let's go ahead, step on final. I'll make it a bit higher, and I'm going to render this image, and I'll pause tutorials and we'll come back after render is completed. Okay, so right here you can see we have our image done, and we'll look on the rocks and the positioning, so they down ground. We also have some plants closer to rocks, and grass that's not going to the rocks. So this tutorial will look how to create layer interaction so you can create a more realistic look. Thank you for watching this tutorial from Geekatplay Studio, and please remember visit us on the web is www.geekatplay.com.